Hey guys, welcome to Boxing Squared for boxing news and views from around the internet. We have a fight. Anthony Joshua and Oleksandr Usyk officially confirmed for September the 25th at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the United Kingdom. So apologies, I do have a croaky voice, got a sore throat at the moment, so you have to bear with me on that. Part of the reason I haven't done videos in the past week or so. So this fight, long talked about, now made. So you can see here on screen, this is the press release. We'll cruise through some of this and then get on to a second press release with Joshua having toured the stadium. So we'll only quickly touch on that. But the first one, we'll get down to some of the meat here after the headline. So obviously he's putting his titles on the line here. We'll skip all the way down to the quotes. And actually though, before that, so this is obviously on Sky Sports. This is the last fight on Joshua's deal with Sky Sports. What happens after that? Who knows? Will he go to DAZN? What sort of deal, what sort of money would be there? We'll have to wait and see. Maybe he will re-up with Sky. Just don't know. But in terms of the comments, so Anthony Joshua says, the date is set and we're fully locked in. September 25, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. I put it all on the line again and it's time to defend my crown. We are two Olympic gold medalists who have fought our way to the top and never avoided challenges. The stadium is exceptional. The atmosphere will be electric. I'm honoured to be the first person to fight in such an awe-inspiring venue. The stage is set and I'm ready to handle business. So Oleksandr Usyk, so just a brief line here. He says, the path will be mastered by the walking one. Rightio. Eddie Hearn, who is the matchroom promoter, says Olympic gold versus Olympic gold, unified heavyweight champion versus undisputed cruiserweight champion. This one has it all, and I can't wait to stage this huge event in front of 60,000 at the stunning Tottenham Hotspur Stadium on September 25th. So you've got Joshua's manager, Freddie Cunningham, saying, AJ once again shows why he is the number one in the division by defending his belts against the toughest opposition in the rankings. Another UK boxing stadium event and another world's first by staging the fight at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium make this one of the biggest UK sporting events of the year. You have Alexander Krasjuk, general manager of K2 Promotions, so he looks after Oleksandr Usyk. This is a huge fight between two gentlemen of the sport. Wow. The two London 2012 Olympic champions are set to collide for the heavyweight crowns. Let the best man win, and we will see you again for the rematch. Then you've got the person for the Tottenham Stadium and also Adam Smith of Sky, and we don't care about that, so we shall move on. And just quickly touching on this, so Joshua here in the Tottenham Stadium, so he's done a tour, so there was a second press release that came out here. There are some images and all that sort of bits and pieces which I will have a look at. I haven't really gone into that yet, but basically it talks up what he was doing, took in a tour, breathtaking views, yada yada yada, skywalk, etc. So less important about that than the actual meat of the story, which is we have a fight. This fight is announced, long talked about, now we have it. And obviously a lot of focus in the press release about the stadium, and let's face it, because we're past the midpoint in July, the fight's in 2 months. The stadium was the reason that this fight has been announced at 2 months' notice. They wanted to have the fans, they wanted to have capacity crowd. They've waited, jumped through all the hoops, waited to see if they could get that. They've obviously secured all the necessary things and got all the things in place to make sure that they can have a crowd here. 60,000 seater, and obviously that sort of tops up the revenues of the event, which is for a lot of the big fighters in the heavyweight division who fight in not just stadiums but in bigger venues, sort of 10, 20,000 seat arenas, etc. That sort of income stream has been lacking of late. So with Joshua being a cash cow in the heavyweight division, they wanted the money to be here. I mean, this is part of the reason last year they were waiting for the Kubrat Pulev fight pretty much all year to see if they could get it into a stadium or at least have, a decent amount of fans. Ultimately, what was it, 1,000 or something like that. But we've got this fight, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's face it, 2021 in the heavyweight division has been garbage. We really haven't had much of note. I just did a video on this on Patreon, patreon.com/boxing squared if you want to check it out. Obviously, there is a cost involved, but a video from this past week, is 2021 the worst year for the heavyweight division in recent memory? Possibly. And we're factoring in, we obviously had a bit of a shutdown in 2020, but we ultimately got some fights in the end and had a decent amount of fights before the pandemic hit. But yeah, Joshua and Usyk is only one of the sort of few fights on the horizon that we can actually talk about. There's not much of a forward schedule. This one we knew was coming, and obviously we know that Fury Wilder 3 is coming. But apart from that, you've got maybe Joseph Parker and Derek Chisora having a rematch, but what else is happening? Dillian White's going to be fighting, Filip Hrgovic is going to be fighting in August, but it's looking a little thin right now. But this fight, I like it. Obviously, you've got some decent storylines here. Some people won't like the fact that Oleksandr Usyk is getting this title shot because they don't believe he's done enough. I mean, I've seen the commentary around the place from different people who don't believe he's done enough to get this title shot. I'm in the camp where I think he has done enough. He did his work at cruiserweight. He was owed a title shot through the super champion status. I don't have a problem with it. And the fact he was able to go in and beat Derek Chisora proves that he's at a certain level in the heavyweight division anyway. Some people like to hold Derek Chisora up as this sort of gatekeeper to the world level, and I think there is something in that. And Oleksandr Usyk did beat him. And I don't put any stock in the argument that Chisora was robbed. He wasn't. Oleksandr Usyk won that fight by, a number of rounds in the end. So Usyk and Joshua, I like the fight. I'll be doing more preview coverage. I think Joshua goes in this fight the favorite because he is the bigger man. He's got the reach. He's got the height. I think these things will be important in this fight. Oleksandr Usyk does have a path to victory. He is going to probably have some success in this fight, but Joshua needs to make it his fight. And I'll go more into that when I do some more preview videos on this fight. But just getting the news out here on the press release, the fight's now made. It's official. Good to have some good news in the heavyweight division because it certainly has been thin on the ground. But what do you make of it all? Drop a comment loud and often. Hit like, hit subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, boxing_squared. I'm out.